Okay, so this is the Homedics ultrasonic humidifier, UHE-WMTF93. I've taken it apart, and I would not recommend this humidifier. I would not. I see a lot of people giving positive reviews on it, and I've used a bunch of different humidifiers in my day, and this is not one that I would recommend, and I'll explain to you why. A lot of these reviews leave out one of the most important things, which is cleaning this thing so that it doesn't accumulate all sorts of gross junk, which is going to end up in the mist that the thing is shooting out, okay? Let me explain to you why, okay? This part is super easy to clean, obviously, because it's a huge cylindrical entryway and exit. So you can get into this and clean it very, very easily, okay? Easy, okay? This part, more difficult. Why? I don't know if you can see in here, but this thing accumulates right underneath the nozzle. There's a lot of space underneath here, and getting all the junk out from underneath that nozzle is more difficult to clean. Okay, you'll notice that there's a lot of junk there. I've been trying for the past like 20 minutes to scrape it all out, and it's just not coming out. Okay, that's number two. All right, still, like, you can probably get out eventually. Okay, keep going. Right, this is the base. I've used this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So far, you can clean most of this pretty easily. Getting down here, you just got these little tiny brushes. You can get down under here, the oscillating diaphragm or whatever you want to call it. This is easy to clean. Getting underneath here and then under where all this is, nearly impossible, okay? Like in that hole and down underneath it, nearly impossible to get all that because of the angle in which this thing is, right? Also, I'm not sure, I don't think this is going to, I think this is just a drain because it leads to the bottom over here, that, you know, where stuff drains out. So I don't think, even though you can't really get this so clean, not the end of the world. Okay, keep going, right? Bottom part here, which is basically touching there, okay? I just cleaned this thing, and I did a pretty good job, okay? I cleaned most of it. Getting the insides of this is difficult. Here's the problem, okay? This is the beginning of the tube that runs the length of the basin, okay? This is the inside of the basin, okay? That hole I just showed you runs the entire length of the basin all the way to the top, through here and through here. You can't get in here. You can't clean all this on your own. There's just no way to clean all this tube. There's just no way to get this tiny little hole here. It's really impossible to like clean all that out. And this tiny little hole, this small hole here, getting in there, like I can clean here. Like I have these little, here, let me show you. I have these little brushes, right? And I can get in from here all the way down to there. That's like, I don't know, a quarter of the way through the tube. I can't get all the way down there. And even if I did, I can't really see what I am and I'm not cleaning, okay? So I don't know how clean it even is. Okay, so cleaning this entire tube, like most other, like I've seen humidifiers from Dreo, I've seen humidifiers from Voigt, and the tube that leads from the oscillating diaphragm all the way to the nozzle, it's much larger and easier to clean. Okay, I know the Dreo 6 liter, I think it's a 6 liter one that I'm looking at right now. You can actually take off the top of the tube, and you can really get a thing in there. And what is it called? The Voigt Classic 300S humidifier. Also, it's super easy to get a thing in there. The tube is much wider and easy to clean, but this thing is a nightmare. Okay, and for that reason, I just wouldn't recommend it because you can't really see what you're doing. You can't, even if you have one of those long, really, really long, brushes. There's just no way to even tell how clean this thing is getting because it's just too small to get in there. Okay, and this has like, I don't know if you can tell, but it doesn't go straight down. You have to like go diagonal just to get to the hole. And then after you go diagonal, there's no way to get down there, okay? So that's kind of like my reason why I would not recommend this device, because the cleaning process of this, it's nearly impossible to effectively clean this hollow tube area that runs the length of this humidifier, okay? Go with something else.